Well, hey guys, good morning. What is going on out there today? It's Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of 7 Around 7. This morning we're getting started right at 7 a.m. Pacific on time. I'm going to try to keep it to 7 minutes today. I got a short message for you today about court positioning in doubles and a common mistake that I see players make, and that you can actually create this bad court positioning into or onto your opponents so that you can open up an advantage for you. Look, before we get started, if you're in that small percentile of players, the guys and gals who are just foaming at the mouth to get better at the game and willing to do the work, then look, if you're over at YouTube, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you get alerted every time I upload either pre-recorded videos, instructional videos, or like we're doing this morning, you get alerted when I go live. Again, it's around 7, not always exactly at 7 a.m. Pacific, sometimes a little bit later. But so hit that subscribe button over at YouTube, and then Facebook or YouTube. Look, if this is the kind of stuff you want to learn more about, doubles court positioning and how you can avoid poor situations or poor team positioning, and or if you want to put your opponents into some lousy court positions, hit the like button, hit the share button so that I know this is the kind of stuff that I got to give you more of. Guys, today we're going to keep this short and sweet, and we're going to talk about what I think is a pretty common situation that we either put ourselves into or we find our opponents in, but we don't take advantage of it. And let me go over here to the court diagram. And this is a situation that I see typically when we have a server that stays back in doubles. And look, it happens, right? I mean, it almost happens at all levels. We certainly see it on the Pro Tour. And whether this would work on the Pro Tour or not, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's find out what works for the rest of us. But occasionally we find a server that serves and stays back, or we find, during the point, and I'm just going to work on the server for today, but we find the server might play, a serve and volley, and then somehow they end up retreating, right? So they end up back here on the baseline. But let's just take it from the standpoint that we've got a server that likes to serve and stay back. And primarily, when's that going to happen? Probably on a second serve, right? So here's what happens. Serve goes in and the returner plays it short, right? Could be a drop shot. Not that you're trying to actually hit it so clean, so well that it's an outright winner. But the whole goal here is to at least get the server to run in and have to hit their shot up, right? To where the ball's not sitting up, that they can go ahead and have, a nice geometric angle over the top of the net. They could go line, they could go feet, they could go middle, they could go deep, they could play another dropper in here. But you're trying to, make the drop shot good enough to where they actually have to come in and hit the ball back up to you. And let's say they make contact around here, they get it back to you, you being the returner, but their momentum on that shot has carried them in. And very often what I see is the returner, in this case, the returner, having a shot choice with the server, the closest person to the net, and the server's partner, sort of same, still in the same position, maybe a hair back. It doesn't matter. What you've got to be able to do is recognize this. And your first thing is, before this player has any time to recover back in here, as they should, right? Because the rule of thumb is that if the ball's directly in front of you, in this case, the ball's directly in front of the server's partner, well, that player is the one who's in the middle of the service box, who's closer to the net. And if you're cross court from the ball, meaning the server is now cross court from the ball, then your ideal position is a staggered position. You don't want to be caught up too close to net. You don't even want to be on the same parallel as your partner. You actually want to be back in the sort of kind of around the threshold of the back third of the service box. Because in this case, if you've run up as the servers run up, and now they end up in here, this is all day long an automatic lob back over to this corner. Okay, so you can get your opponent into this situation by, if they stay back, whether on the serve they stay back or during the point, and you want to play a short ball that brings them in, do it, right? Rather than getting into this cross-court rally thing, play a short ball. I mean, with the reason they're staying back, they probably don't feel very comfortable up at net, number one. Maybe they don't volley well. Maybe their overhead's weak, or maybe they don't understand court positioning like this, and they're thinking, all right, well, I'm up here at net. I might as well be up at net. And the next thing you know is they've created this geometric situation for you where all day long you want to go ahead and be thinking about a lob there. So there you have it. There you have it. Hope that makes sense, right? I think too often either we put ourselves or we put our opponents in a lousy court positioning such as this one, either intentionally or unintentionally, but we don't really recognize the opportunity we have for the next shot. And, everyone kind of goes, well, the middle solves the riddle. Well, it does sometimes, but in this case, you're better off using the cross-court length, the geometry that you've now been given in terms of a lob. And look, if you get a lob going over there cross-court, play it as an approach shot. Just come on in behind it. You don't know if that server's partner is going to be able to go back and get it, right? They might be able to. That's fine. But the last thing you want to do is be stuck back in the baseline on this situation. You want to be coming in. So, Eduardo, all right, good morning, senor, from Mexico. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hope you're doing well. Guys, that's it for me today. I would love to get your feedback on this one lousy court positioning situation that either you're creating yourself, or that you're creating yourself in terms of putting an opponent in that position and then not taking advantage of the court position mistake that you just created for them, or you guys are getting yourself in that court position mistake, right? And so you got to be aware of that, right? We got to be aware that when the ball's cross court from you and you're up at net, you got to be back in that service box a little bit, right? All right, that's it for me. I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments area. What's on your mind with today's topic? You can leave a question or a comment remark there, or you can direct message me at Facebook and/or shoot me a message, an email, Brent@webtennis.com. I know I need to apologize up front. I've got some emails been stacking up for the last few days with questions and requests for stuff that I will get to this morning. I promise that. So guys, with that said, it's time. You've got to get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again next time.